All right, everybody, welcome to this edition of Leon Live. I am with my new great friend, Nathan Coutinho. Nathan, how are you today?
Good. Thanks for having me on, and good to see you again.
Yeah, Nathan, we had you here in the Leon Loft just last week. There's still kind of like the air of Nathan around here. We're still a lot
Gosh,
of positive vibes.
the air of Nathan. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I don't think even my wife would say like I don't like that. So hopefully hopefully like I don't know. It'll
Yeah,
go away eventually. But yeah, that was a great trip. Thanks for hosting.
yeah.
It was very
Thanks for
eye
making the
opening for
trek.
me.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. So for everybody on the Leon Live today, Nathan Coutinho is the head of analyst relations and B2B strategy for Logitech. And actually had a chance to sit down at Barcelona before you came out to the Leon Loft, but I didn't realize you and I go back to your CDW days. You were at
Absolutely.
CDW for a long time.
Yes, I was 17 years.
Yeah.
Pretty practically my entire career, actually, if you think about it. But yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, it's awesome. So there's a lot of things that we've talked about, but on Leon Live, we want to get to know you a little bit better. And one of the things that we can kind of see over your left shoulder is several guitars. I think you have a little collection.
I have a little collection. It's not as I mean, it's a modest collection. I have, like 8 or 9 guitars. I have friends that have 30 and 50, so I don't think my wife will let me get there, but maybe, maybe the kids are in college and maybe that's my next big step, midlife
Yeah.
crisis, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I do. I play guitar, I play a little bit of drums, I play a little bit of everything. We play in a
So
little band as well, so it's a lot of fun.
yeah, so I heard about the band, and here's my kind of first question: why is it in the AV world, in the collaboration world, everybody's passed through music? What is sort of the common denominator? I mean, music is the denominator, right? But what is it about like this musical background that compels us to be in this space?
So I don't know why everyone else does it. I'll tell you kind of why I do it. And I've always been a musician. And I think when you get into, especially in AV, when it comes to designing rooms, trying to build something that is going to be effective, especially like, you put your technology in so many different places, including residential and commercial. We focus mostly on commercial, at least on the B2B side. But there needs to be a design element to make people comfortable, for them to be able to feel like they're having a natural meeting. And that really has some creative juices required. And I think a lot of people either do that with music or they do that with art. Definitely with Noah, right? Your CEO,
Yeah.
a freaking amazing artist. I've seen some of the work he did last week. It was very impressive, including Tina Turner, by the way. When you gave me a copy of that, I didn't know that was his until I came home and I looked at the name. I'm like, wow. And then I went
Oh,
and checked out the YouTube video. Uh,
oh,
but but I think in general, AV, there's a lot of designers. There's a lot of creative juices flowing, and sometimes that bleeds out into music. Sometimes that's art. Sometimes that's carpentry. So I think it's a great space to be in, and it's a small community of AV people that are actually musicians as well. So that's great.
yeah. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. We're committed to having your band make a trek here to Ann Arbor to host you on the stage. My band in high school, we were called the Fish Cats, and I don't think we would make the stage, but we had a lot of fun in high school.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah, maybe we can jam together, but we'll see. I don't know
yeah,
if we can. I don't know if we can. I mean, you had such great artists show up. I saw Colin Hay was up there, and I actually
oh
play a
yeah,
song in the band of his. He's just such a great musician, such a great storyteller. One guy does it all, gets all these great sonic sounds from his guitar. Just a great guy.
oh yeah. I got playing in our background right here a little Amos Lee. This was "Let Your
Also
Little
great.
Light Shine." This was a loft show recording, actually.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. About I want to say 2000. When was that? 2018 that we had him here. Yeah, nice tone. I love it. I love it.
Another great artist. So crisp and clean, right? Just love those tones.
I know. All right, here's a question. Let's go business for a second. You have worked for one of the largest integrators in the world, and now you're at Logitech. So it's like you go from knowing the integration side of the world to the manufacturing side of the world. What do you know now that you might not have known before? What kind of perspective has been enhanced in your shift?
So definitely a lot. So like, one of the reasons why I came to Logitech, right? One of the biggest reasons is I always felt like I was always in the reseller world, and that's definitely true. I've worked with multiple resellers, for almost 2 decades. And I'm like, I really want to build something. I want to build something. I want to at least be a part of building something that affects people worldwide. And there was only one vendor that seemed to have, this really great retail product experience and then this massive B2B product experience, and it was Logitech. And that's why I ended up at Logitech. So now, what have I learned? Gosh, there's so many things. Everything from, understanding supply chain, how we build products. I know we'll talk about sustainability as well eventually, but how do we now, change the game in terms of what kinds of materials we use, how we package things properly, how do we recycle, full circularity on all our products, right? It's I don't know, we share that DNA, between our
Yeah,
company as well. But I think those are the most exciting things that I can think of, is like being able to build something and then be able to see those in millions and millions of hands or on heads or on top of
yeah.
displays. It's just a great feeling to see,
the
be a part
the
of.
reach is sort of staggering, right? In terms of that, I was impressed. At ISE in Barcelona, when you kind of took the stage and you guys were talking about your mission and your vision around sustainability, certainly got us inspired. At Leon, in terms of we want to. We want to sort of learn from the people who are doing it right, and we want to be a part of that as well. How has kind of the visions and actions that you have set in motion in this area, what's been that journey? What has that journey been like, for you and for the Logitech team?
It's a great question. I think, we started about 7 years ago. So this has been a long time coming for us. And we started actually building our mice and keyboards, actually our mice first, with recycled plastics. And, along the way, we realized that, well, we need to create our own resin because, like the available recycled plastics, we're just not cutting it in terms of the CO2 outputs and things like that we want to reduce. So we ended up making our own resin. We now not only have, by the way, 2/3 of our entire product line is already made with recycled plastic, which is amazing. Most of our products in the B2B side, and soon, we'll go through the entire product line as we can, but it's already using FSC certified recycled paper in the packaging. If you go buy a new mouse today, or even a keyboard, or now even our VC products, when you open it up, you're not probably going to find a plastic bag inside. You're probably going to have the device actually, wrapped in recycled paper. So we've really gone above and beyond trying to reduce all the different materials, not only from a volume perspective, but using recycled paper, recycled plastics, recycled fabrics. And we're not stopping there. We're just going to keep going on it. So it's been a long journey for us. And we started off because it was the right thing to do. Listen, we make lots of products that are made out of
Yeah.
plastic, right? Lots and lots, and we have for 40 years. So we
Right.
knew there was a better way to do this, and we put our minds together and said, "This is the thing we're going to do."
Yeah.
And we went carbon neutral in 2021 as a company, and we're on track to hitting our climate positive goal, which is 2030, which is a whole 10 years before the Paris Accord. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of great things happening with sustainability at Logitech for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we applaud you guys for that. And we're learning, we're listening, and we're sort of moving forward ourselves as to be an active part of that community. So thank you again, for the leadership on that.
You know what? One thing I'll add. So
Yeah.
we can't do this ourselves. Like, even if you get to 90% recycle
Yeah.
materials, and even if we do that, it's just two companies. We need the world to follow. And we want to give the world, our framework. And one of the things we did at ISC, we announced, first of all, we announced that our entire Android-based, Collab OS-based video bars are all made with PCR going forward. So we're basically taking the entire modern collaboration product line to PCR plastic. That was a big deal for us. But number two, we now are offering this framework and actually consulting with any manufacturer in the world that wants to follow this process. So if anyone's interested out there in following, you can go to our website and find out. Otherwise, it's sustainability@logitech.com. And we will, contact us, and we're more than happy to talk to our departments in terms of understanding the framework and sharing best practices that we've learned along the way.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. I love that. All right. Last question. What did you think of your tour of the loft? So I'd love you to sort of recap what you experienced here. We're inviting a lot of people to come to Ann Arbor this year. And I'd love you to, kind of what did you love? And was there a particular thing that you were like, man, I learned something, I saw something, what really jumped out to you?
I knew it was going to be a cool experience because
Yeah.
I checked out some of the videos online, but nothing it's nothing like until you walk in, right? You just don't know. And the one part I was impressed with was just the amount of history of products, the older TVs, the older radios. I mean, and then as you explained the process, it's like, you take comfort in understanding how people built products 40, 50, 150 years ago, and the design decisions they used to make the knob really big or really small on the left or the right, and the types of speakers that we use, and to like be able to appreciate that you're looking at history and then not recreating history, but then using them as a nod to the yesteryears of the past, right? All the
Yeah.
design, all the great products, and then put it into everything. Like I know I saw some prototype devices there that were amazing. Just like they look a little off, right? You're like, why
Yeah.
does this look like an eye? But then you hear the sound, and I'm telling you that one. Well, actually, it was kind of
Yeah.
funny when you showed me the 6-foot Bluetooth speaker, which I'm like, okay, wow, this is crazy. And then Noah played that one song, and you could
Yeah.
feel that music in your soul, right? It's just
Yeah.
amazing to see products like that. The other thing that I thought was really cool with the massive collection of Persian rugs that you have, right? And
I've got
it's like,
two in my space alone. If you could see, well, you can kind of see one of them, but yeah, they're everywhere.
but it gives you a completely unique feel for an office. Like I walked in there and I felt I was like every room was a living room. And I think it's the comfortable in a safe space to be creative and to be able to design. And the last thing I love going through factory tours. The thing I mentioned that I've been through many of them in the US, and it was really fun to kind of walk through. And Noah, being the artist and the apparently expert carpenter as well. I mean, you have to be because he started the company. But
Yeah.
the fact that he turned on his massive saw and then ran a piece of wood to it and then showed me how smooth the wood was. I mean, I have a circular saw. I know most guys do, I guess, but you cannot get that smoothness without sanding it down. And the
Yeah.
fact that he did it is just like it shows him like he's a true geek, a true artist, a true designer, a true
Yeah.
carpenter. And I love getting those kinds of vibes, especially from a
Awesome.
CEO. It's amazing.
And I think you're gonna host him on Unscripted, and
I am.
so looking forward to learning more. I've got in my hand right here what we thought was your favorite.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that too. I like that too. It won't fit the existing webcam that I have, but
We were thinking maybe Logitech could make a version of this. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I have to table that because I don't make those design decisions or build decisions.
Awesome. Well, Nathan, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it, and you're always welcome back to the loft again. What's the name of the band?
The name of the band is Daddy Wasn't There, and the
Daddy
reason
wasn't.
why. So it's the first song in the third Austin Powers movie. And it's one of those things where I went back and forth, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go with my gut in this one. And believe me, we get some strange looks,
Oh
and we
yeah.
get some high fives because some people who are huge Austin Powers fans they completely get it, they understand it. But some are like, I don't under why is it called that? It doesn't make any sense. So it's done. It's printed. I have banners. I'm not changing it at this point. It is
Well,
what it
maybe
is.
it's like
Stick to your
we
gut.
do. Yeah, we do like we call it visual audio, not audio visual. Maybe we do visual audio for sustainability, and it's a fundraise right here, and that would be a lot of fun. So let's take that offline and figure out how we make that
Absolutely.
happen.
I like
Awesome.
the idea. Sounds fantastic. Thanks for having me on, Jeff. It's great to see you.
Awesome. Thanks, Nathan.
I was knocked out of a bed. Yes, I knew that you saw me.